So, John, what is the most expensive thing that you've ever broken?
So I can't think of anything that I've broken per se, like irreparably. But when I was 18, when I turned 18, my parents, I think, wanted to do something quite special. You know, to mark the occasion. I was the firstborn son, you know, so it's kind of a big deal for them, you know.
Yeah.
And they bought me a very expensive wristwatch. Like, I don't think it was a Rolex, surely, because they're like tens of thousands, right? But it was like an expensive wristwatch. It was very, very flashy.
Yeah.
And I never wore it, not even once.
Have you still got it?
No, it's long. God only knows. I think they must have given up and regifted it at some point.
Yeah.
But I feel really bad, but I just don't care about watches.
Oh dear.
You know, so I didn't break it, but I felt bad. Maybe the expensive thing was my
broke their
parents' hearts.
Yeah,
because they spent a lot of money on it, and I just never even once put it on my wrist. Like, just, yeah.
Oh dear. Do you think they got their money back? Or are they still poor now?
I don't know. Well, they're still poor, but that's that's. I don't think that's why. But
Well, let's hope not, because
No,
that's a lot of blame to put
that
on.
is a lot of precious part of me. Yeah. They're still paying off that damn watch. Yeah. I'm pretty sure my middle brother got it, which is, you know, one of the benefits of being a younger brother. So yeah, you inherit all the shit that your older siblings don't want. So,
Yeah, tell me about it.
like me.
What, inherit you?
All the things your older siblings don't want.
Oh god, yes, I have inherited you from my big brother, haven't I? Yeah, well, it's the curse of being the youngest. You inherit all kinds of shit.
Oh dear.
Some films are fine just the way they are. Other films sometimes take it way too far. But really, how bad could it get? Let's go beyond the box set.
Well,
What the hell was that? That wasn't even words.
it was a half-assed attempt at a word. Half commitment. Welcome, everybody, to Beyond the Box Set, the podcast where today we are picturing prequels, sequels, and spin-offs to Hancock.
Hancock, you had to think about that for a second, didn't you?
Yeah.
Hancock, yeah.
I'm a bit burnt out on Will Smith, to be honest.
Yeah, same. This season's not been as much fun as I was hoping it would be.
Anyway, we'll also be picturing some drinking games and hearing from my listeners with the submissions they posted on Facebook and Twitter. But first, we're going to talk about some of our favourite moments and give a bit of a plot summary. I'm Harry, the host with the most power in the world.
The most power in the world.
Of this podcast.
Okay.
And joining me as always, the host who needs rescuing the most, it's John Lucas.
I'm happy to be your damsel in distress. That works for me.
It's not quite what I said, but yeah, sure. So Hancock, what do you think, John? This is a you pick.
It was a me pick. That being said, it was very much a pick that I just picked out of thin air, really, just because we are running short on non-franchisey Will Smith films that aren't already... given we decided to veto all the depressing Will Smith ones and Oscar ones, so we're like, no to £7, no to The Pursuit of Happiness. There's not much point in doing Arlie, because, you know, everyone knows how that ends.
Yeah.
So it does limit you. So I just was like, I've not seen that one. I found this film to be dour and incomprehensible.
Yeah.
I did not like this film.
I didn't think you would.
I thought I really actively
I don't like this film.
I actively disliked this film, actually. It annoyed me. Had you seen it before? Did you know what was coming? Okay.
Yeah. I've seen this a few times before, more times than I'm actually happy with.
Oh, okay. Is that by accident or?
I don't know, I think it might have been one of those films that's just been on a couple of times. But with that time period in between, that's like, oh yeah, I could watch this.
Yeah.
Or like, I could watch another.
So you forget, it tricks you, it lulls you into thinking it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't good. This is not. This is a bad movie.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? Like, we'll get into the plot and all the stuff, but like, this film came out in like 2008, right? So was that before the first Iron Man film or after?
Same year.
Same year. Okay, so it's essentially getting made before like the Marvel Golden Age that the last like 12 years has represented. Yeah. Do you think that makes this film look worse in retrospect because superhero movies have done so much better? Like, because this, I appreciated that there were moments where this film was trying to push the boundaries of what a superhero movie is. Like, you know, make a superhero a bit of a burnout and a bit of a bum and a bit of a, you know, not a likable, not this clean-cut likable character, but also not this brooding Batman.
But we had already had superhero movies for, well, decades before, but like consistently for at least 8 years. Like, we've been having X-Men movies that were doing well. We had at least one Fantastic Four movie that did well.
Sure.
Batman Begins was a few years before this. The Dark Knight was also 2008.
Yeah, no, I just mean more like...
superhero movies, they were... The thing that Marvel brought in was a big cinematic universe.
Yes.
That was their unique feature.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everything else had pretty much been done before, other than, say, like Deadpool or something, which did come with a level of originality.
Sure. I just mean in terms of, like, the plot of this film being, like, about a superhero who's not well-liked and not likable. Like, I feel like... I mean, I don't know the Marvel universe as well as you do, but I feel like Iron Man is somewhat like that, maybe, in part. Like, you know, like, a flaw... I think Marvel's been very good at creating superheroes who have flaws.
Yeah.
Whereas beforehand, I'm sure there are examples where it's happened in the past, but like it felt like it was either super clean cut, you know, your Superman, you know, only believes in good in the world, or you've got your brooding Batman type that's just like, you know, a dark and mysterious figure, but you know, but this is something else. Hancock is as a character is just this like waster.
Yeah.
Which I don't feel like... I mean, now you see at least... Now they do that all the time. You've got, like, the Suicide Squad kind of do that. Deadpool does that to a degree, you know.
Will Smith's bag, isn't it?
Well, yeah, Will Smith certainly made it his thing. But, like, now it's kind of 10 a penny to see, like, anti-hero superheroes. But I don't know if that's maybe... I don't know, just watching it today after there's been so many better superhero movies, generally, that, like, have pushed the boundaries a little bit.
And worse.
There's been better, there's been worse, but this one just feels really lame.
Mm-hmm. I feel like this film didn't commit enough to what it wanted to be.
No, because the tone is all over the place. That's the other problem with it.
Yeah, because like it was pitching itself as a superhero movie, but it's kind of a... Well, it's not quite a rom-com, is it? But like...
Certainly not.
Like it's got the romantic element in it, which is...
Like there's a romantic drama element to it,
which is weird.
Yeah.
Like there's no other way to describe it. No. It's just odd. Like...
Yeah.
I don't really know what its point was, where it was going. Nothing felt particularly romantic. Nobody felt in love.
No, this film tried to do too many things and committed to none of them.
Yeah,
essentially, I think is one of the problems.
Yeah, I don't know, and like it sets a tone for itself, and you start like allowing yourself to get on board with that, and you have a bit of fun with it almost. You even do have a bit of fun with it.
Yeah, you can try at least.
By the end, it's gone. It's all gone.
Yeah, it's surprisingly, like, that's why I said dour. It's got this, because it does have like moments that are clearly reaching for comedy. Like there's quite a lot of them, but the ultimate tone of the film is not depressing, but more just like joyless. There's just something like the jokes didn't work for me when they existed, and the characterization wasn't. And then when it tried to get all serious at the end, I also didn't give a shit about that.
That was weird.
I didn't care for the serious bit or the comedic stuff, and having them like rammed together uncomfortably in a film that's quite short, it just really didn't work for me.
Yeah. Do you want to do a plot summary then?
I will. Okay, so Hancock came out 2008, stars Will Smith, obviously, because that's our season. Directed by Peter Berg. Do you know what else Peter Berg has directed that we've done fairly recently?
John Carter or something, I don't know.
Battleship,
Great.
which
not far off.
100% tracks. Yeah,
I was not far off.
No, not at all. Very, very similar ground. Yeah, he previously directed Battleship and then he did this, or maybe the other way around. But yeah,
all right.
Yeah, that's the level we're working at here. So that explains a lot, definitely. That it was from the guy who did Battleship.
Battleship was all right though. It wasn't a bad film.
It was a terrible film. Come on.
Yeah, but you knew what it was going into it.
Yeah, Battleship was more like...
I feel like everybody in it knew what they were in.
Yes, Battleship, I would say, was more enjoyable than this.
That's why I say it wasn't a bad film.
No.
It was just like...
It was a stupid film,
yeah,
but not...
It was stupid, and it lent into being stupid.
True, okay, yeah.
This one was...
You're right. Battleship knew what it was. This film was trying to be too many things.
Yeah.
So it stars Will Smith, and he is Hancock, the title character, who is a down-and-out superhero. So he has essentially the Superman powers, it seems. He can fly, he's super strong, he's impervious to bullets, all that good stuff. But he's also kind of a drunk and a layabout, and he's not very enthusiastic about his job, to say the least. And we open with him basically passed out on a park bench after a night of binge drinking or something.
Yeah.
And he gets woken up by a little kid because there's all over the news there is some kind of high-speed car chase happening.
I guess, yeah.
Couldn't quite pinpoint the crime. I mean, obviously the speeding is a crime, but I don't know. I guess they robbed a bank or something. Who can say? But there's a full police chase along the freeway, and he's kind of hungover. And this little kid wakes him up, and he reluctantly flies in to help out.
Is that how the news works in like American cities?
If you can see it through in a shop window, yeah.
They're just like there will be a police chase happening, and that will be all over the news. Like I know that happened for like say O.J. Simpson.
Yeah,
but Does it happen for like the rest of the time?
Seems to be. It's how films work, so
Okay,
I don't know. Who can say?
Yeah.
But he's so hungover that
Like, I've never once watched the news and just be like, oh my god, guys, somebody's robbing a bank right now.
Yeah.
Like, the whole country needs to know this.
No,
Breaking news, a bank's being robbed.
That's true. We tend to find out after the fact, unless it's like a major terrorist incident.
Yeah.
But yeah, that doesn't really work with films. Oh, there was a major bank robbery 8 hours ago.
Yeah. Batman, help!
Yeah, doesn't quite track as well. So, give them a bit of leeway. It's fine. But so yeah, he flies off. We get a soundbed of "Move, bitch, get out the way" by Ludacris. Will Smith, he's flying into like pigeons are hitting him and stuff, and then he's flying into street signs and things, and he's just a mess. He causes untold damage and almost certainly many fatalities because he flips over at least 7 or 8 police cars. Like he fully causes wreckage. And in the process, he manages to kind of stop the criminals, who are these Vietnamese kids. He flies them around. There's some very, very, very poor CGI and green screen going on at this point. But he manages to, apprehend them. But he doesn't really get any thanks for it because he's caused so much destruction in the interim while he's been stopping them that everyone's just sick to death of him. And it seems like this is his pattern. Like, he is a superhero. He's not living undercover in any way, shape, or form.
No.
He's very recognisable.
Yeah. But I guess, like, what can the police do about him?
Yeah, he's super strong. They can't arrest him, but
stop putting the police traces on telly. That's what
maybe
I'd say.
you stop publicising them. Yeah, but like essentially, the public don't like him because they're just sick of his like bullshit, basically, and him always causing more damage than he fixes. So he's not popular.
Yeah,
I was wondering, given that he clearly makes no effort to disguise his identity, and everyone knows who he is, and he's instantly recognisable, what is his source of income?
I don't think he has any. I think that's why he's sleeping on a park bench.
You say that, and I guess he is also living in a trailer.
Yeah.
But there's also, how's he buying all his booze? Because there's specifically a scene when he goes into a 7-Eleven later on in the film, and the shop assistant charges £91.11 because he's trying to like indicate that he needs them to call 911.
Right.
And Will Smith's like, that's highway robbery, which implies that he pays for his booze. So he needs to have some kind of income, right?
I don't know. You're asking a question that this film is not
No, exactly. I'm just pointing out that this is one of many things this film doesn't really think about. But how is he making his money? Like most superheroes, they have like an alter ego, like Clark Kent or Bruce Wayne, who are either independently wealthy or, have a job. Whereas this guy just seems to be Hancock. He seems to he gets drunk and he stops crime. That's what he does. That's his life. So regardless, so he's unpopular. He's kind of jaded and doesn't really care about his job at all. We get a scene where he's in a bar. He hooks up with some girl in a bar, takes her back to his trailer, and we get a scene where literally Will Smith shoots holes in his roof with his spunk, which I was surprised was in this film. Which again, talk about like tonal shifts in this film. He's like, you don't want to be around when I ejaculate because it's messy, and and then he just does it. He just shoots 3 holes in his trailer ceiling.
This film.
I know that. See, I feel like that's a funny joke in Deadpool.
I'd say it's a funny joke in like Scary Movie.
Yes, yeah, exactly. It's a dumb joke, but but this film, because it's like it veers between that level of humor and trying to actually say something about emotions and people, and it just it does not work. But I was surprised that Will Smith was in a movie in which there was a plot point where his spunk could kill women. That did surprise me. Right? It's not really what you expect, but...
Oh god, that would be a nightmare of a blowjob.
Yes, well that's it. How did he learn that his spunk I guess when he was a kid he had a very explosive wank, but like
I guess, yeah.
Because like I was thinking, like, masturbation must be a nightmare. Do you have to just go to like a field or something and just aim away from things? Like
point at the sky maybe.
But then it just come back down. Yeah.
Well, it depends what you point at, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, to get into more detail, he could probably just like block it with his hand or something.
That's true, yeah. But then it could ricochet. I don't know. There's so many questions. That feels messy.
Yeah. I mean, wanking is messy.
It is, yes. But more so when you're an immortal superhero with explosive spunk. But yeah.
Why do you think the moon has craters? What killed the dinosaurs, John?
And that's interesting. I need to rethink my sequels. Okay. Anyway, so we learned that important detail. That's very important to this film. At a certain point, he rescues Jason Bateman, who was at that period of his career when he was in Arrested Development and just getting cast in everything, but in the exact same basic role.
Yeah.
Like, I've noticed with Jason Bateman, he's like, love Arrested Development, seasons 1 to 3 only. He's great. He definitely isn't what you would describe as a rangy actor.
No.
He
Not
always...
until later in his career.
Sorry?
Not until later in his career.
Right, what's he done since?
He's done like horror movies and stuff.
Where he's played the villain?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I mean, I've not seen Ozark. Everyone says Ozark's very good, but I've not watched it.
I've not seen that either, but
it always seems like he like plays the same basic guy.
Yeah.
Which he's very good at.
From what I've seen, yeah, like I've not actually seen any of these horror movies I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But
I didn't know he was in horror movies, but it seems like he's always basically playing Jason Bateman, which is lots of actors do that. It's fine, but yeah. So Jason Bateman is a PR person who's trying to flog his... I mean, this part of the plot really annoyed me, actually, because this is a great...
It goes on way too long, doesn't it?
It goes on way too long, and it's a great example of how this film is like half written and doesn't really care about the details of making anything make internal sense in the film.
Yeah.
So Jason Bateman is a PR person, and he's trying to sell this concept that we see him pitching to all these like old white guys, which is something like he wants them to give away their products for free to help save the world.
Yeah.
And then as a media thing, if they do that, he's going to paint hearts on landmarks.
Wasn't it that they get to publish that logo with their product or something?
Yeah.
Something like that. It's basically all about that logo. It's the most half-assed business plan I've ever heard a film writer.
What's the profit margin on this? Like, what's the plan? What's the end game here?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. Of
what
course,
are you doing, building wells in Africa? What are you doing here?
That's the thing. Like, of course they're not going to invest in this. It's not even a business plan. It's just give all your shit away for free, and I'll paint a heart on the Eiffel Tower. What?
Yeah.
No wonder he's failing. Some business plans deserve to fail. You know, terrible.
Let's see it. Okay, I'll get right into it. Good morning, everyone. I'm here to talk to you about charitable giving. Okay, and we all know the way that works. You give 1, maybe 2% of your net cash, and you get an armband or a wristband or a ribbon or whatever it is. It's nowhere near enough. And that's why we at Embry Publicity would like to offer you the All Heart symbol. Now, you would be among a very select group of corporate giants to bear this logo on your product. And what this would say to the public is that your company, Pharmatopsis, has made a radical contribution to helping our world. And here's all you need to do to qualify. Your new TB drug, Mycodin, we would like for you to give that product away for free.
Did you say free?
I did.
So he's doing that, and he's struggling. He's struggling to get people to buy into it, shockingly. And ultimately, Will Smith saves his life when he ends up getting stuck in a traffic jam that crosses over some railway lines. Which I'd love to know if that's like a thing that happens in America, because that seems insane.
It does, yeah.
It's a traffic jam that seems to just get stuck on the barriers never come down on these. You know, not in Britain where we have roads that cross rails.
They do have barriers in America.
Yeah.
I've seen it in other
But
films.
these barriers did not go. Maybe it was a signalling error, who knows. But yeah. Anyway, he's about to get hit by a train. Hancock once again flies in and saves the day, lifts up his car, rescues him. But again, in the process, the train crashes, and we see like a massive amount of the carriages falling. So again, dozens of people dead, surely.
Yeah.
Even if it's like a freight train, still the driver's 100% dead.
Yeah.
There's no question the driver of that train has just been flung against a wall, and
Definitely.
his brains are dashed all over the place. Not that we see this, but that's clearly what's happened. Anyone who's in the proximity of those carriages, dead. But doesn't matter. But ultimately, once again, so we get Hank. I was thinking about this a lot. This film was boring. So once again, Hancock saved the day, but everyone is just like, boo, we hate you. You're so rubbish at this. Why can't you be better?
Yeah.
And he's just like, fuck you all, whatever, I don't care. He's just flinging insults at them. And Jason Bateman gets a brainwave, and he's kind of like, you know what, I can help you. You've just saved my life, so let me help you.
I work in marketing.
So let me be your PR guy, and you know, I will advise you, and you can like get the people to like you again. So that's what he offers.
Yeah.
So then Hancock goes back with Jason Bateman to Jason Bateman's house for like a family meal. And he meets his wife, played by Charlize Theron. and their little boy. And Charlize Theron instantly mistrusts Hancock.
Yeah.
She's like very much not on board. And we get this weird like 360 degree camera shot. The camera work in this film was annoying. Did you notice that as well?
No.
So annoying. But they had like a 360 degree camera shot, and she's just like, I just don't like him. I don't want to see him in my house. And she's definitely got her issues with him, and we don't quite find out why at first. Like for the first,
It's weird that this film goes for a twist.
it does go for a twist, and it takes a long time to get. It takes a long time to get there, and it took so long to get there that I was like, and fair enough, it did get there, so that's fine. But for like the hour in which there's just lots of scenes of Charlize Theron just in the background looking like she doesn't mistrustfully at Will Smith and like giving him these long, meaningful looks, I was like, she's going to get to do something, right? This can't just be it for Charlize Theron. There's got to be a part. And fair enough there was, but like it really made you think she was just playing like the wife in the most unrewarding role of her career for like an hour.
Yeah. But no, and
But
it builds into her sucking the fun out of everything in this film.
Would you say? I wouldn't say it's her fault this film goes off the rails.
I wouldn't say it's actor Charlize Theron's fault, no.
No, but I know what you mean. Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, it takes the film in a different direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Charlize doesn't trust him at all, but Jason Bateman comes up with a plan to basically make the people appreciate Hancock once again. And to do that, he needs to make amends, and he needs to disappear for a while.
Yeah.
Because they need to like learn to miss him, because they've kind of started taking him for granted, because he does stop the crimes and the incidents, but he also causes a lot of damage in the process. So Jason Bateman tells him, what you need to do is you need to go to jail. Because you've got like 600 lawsuits against you from all the criminal damage you've done, so you need to own up to your crimes and go to jail. So he does this whole press conference where he kind of apologizes for all his bad behavior, and he says he's going to try and get better, and he hands himself in and he goes to prison. So he's in prison, and obviously everyone else in prison is there because he's put them there. So and then there's the scene
Go on.
where Will Smith's he's got a lot of standard threats in this film.
He does, yeah.
And one of his
they get old very quickly.
they do get old very quickly. One of his standard threats is whenever a villain is threatening him or not cooperating, he says, if you don't cooperate, I will shove your head up his ass, or I will shove your head up my ass, which he doesn't do, but he threatened that as well.
That'd be weird.
Yeah, that'd be a choice.
Yeah.
That's probably a choice too far. I would imagine Will Smith vetoed that choice.
Probably, yeah.
So yeah, there's literally a scene in this movie where Will Smith shoves one criminal's head up another criminal's arse, and then we just see it. It just happens, and it's not fun. It's just terrible.
Like that is one dead person and one like horrifically injured person.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's no coming back from that. Like,
No.
there's not even any lubrication. It's just like straight up there. It's like
Yeah. Like one person probably like they no longer have an asshole.
Yes.
They have a broken pelvis, like permanently broken pelvis. They're never walking again.
No, absolutely not.
And there's another person who's about to suffocate to death in a few minutes.
Yeah. Basically, that's essentially what we're. Yeah.
Like, it's murder and serious injury
Yes, absolutely.
with many witnesses.
Yes. But he does that, and they don't die, because this isn't that kind of film.
No.
Or sometimes it is, but not in this moment. But he sticks it out in prison. Like he sticks it out in jail, and he starts incrementally making a bit of progress. It's apparently it's the kind of jail where they also have like rehab and therapy. So there's like Criminals Anonymous, where they all sit around and talk about their feelings. And
Yeah.
he initially doesn't want to join it, but he starts to slightly open up a little bit, basically.
Yeah.
So it feels like he's getting there a little bit here and there. And then he gets pulled out of jail again when the police ask him to come and help with a major bank robbery. What was happening here?
It was a bank robbery with a hostage situation and also a bomb threat.
It was just the whole lot, yeah.
So it was like, there are people in the building right now who are being threatened, who could all be killed, and there are bombs that could go off that could potentially, I'm not too sure, that could potentially like destroy the entire building.
Yeah. Well, this was stupid. So yeah, you're right. There was multiple things going on here. So it's a bank robbery. There's like 3 criminals in this giant bank building. There's loads of hostages. There's one female police officer who apparently has been shot and wounded, who can't get away, so they need to rescue her. Also, when he goes in, the robbers have gone into this giant bank, and somehow they've had the time and the wherewithal to wrap all of the hostages, and we're talking dozens of hostages, wrap them in like dynamite skirts as if they're like hot dogs or something, like explosive hot dogs.
Yeah.
And one of them, played by Eddie Marsan from Happy Go Lucky, is he's got like a detonator.
Yeah.
One of those foam detonators where he's already pressed it, and if he releases it, everyone will explode.
Yeah.
Everyone will individually explode.
Yeah.
Like they show everybody, all these hostages were like extras cowering, looking scared and crying, and they're all like literally wearing like hula skirts of dynamite. It's ridiculous. Like, when did that happen? Just like you walk in, it's a stick up, you hold a gun into the air. It's like, okay, now if everyone would just form an orderly line, we're just going to strap this dynamite to you. Like, how much dynamite did they use? Probably worth more than the money they're trying to take. But
yeah. To be fair, I don't think they were trying to rob the money from the bank. I think they were just like, we will blow these people up unless you bring us money.
Right.
I think.
Okay.
I'm not too sure.
Wow. What's the difference?
Well, the difference is there's not actually loads of money held in banks.
No.
And robbing a bank means robbing a bank in films, there's not much money there in real life, but in films where there is, say, there's always a really thick safe that somebody has to break through and stuff like that, and there's all kinds of stuff. Whereas it'd be much easier to just say, like, I'll kill this person unless you just get me a bag of money.
Yeah. Sure. Okay, so...
But, hey, that's films for you.
Yeah. So, Hancock takes out all the henchmen, leaves Eddie Marsan, who's got the detonator.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, you need to get me my money, otherwise I'm going to blow these people up.
Yeah.
Instead, Will Smith fashions a kind of...
It's a sharp discus.
Yes.
Call it.
It's like, what are those things called? Like,
Well, it's
shuriken? What are they called? Like...
Oh, I don't know.
The things you throw, throwing star, but not really. Like, yeah, it's more like a discus. Yeah,
yeah.
He uses his superpowers to like shave down something. Yeah. Anyway, he flings this sharpened disc at Eddie Marsan, cutting off the hand that's got the detonator, and presumably using super speed to grab it before the foam.
I guess, yeah.
Disconnects. We don't see. Does he have super speed? I guess he has super speed.
I know we don't see it, but also maybe it's possible that in real biology or this film's biology, if you just sever a limb, it will stay in the exact same position that it was in.
Yeah, because that's not...
Like, there is the term dead man's grip, but I think that's like when rigor mortis kicks in.
Yeah, that takes a little while. Yeah, I don't think that's not instant. But...
So, I don't know.
Yeah. And the way he, like, nonchalantly
But you don't see it, though, do you?
No, yeah.
Like, it's all implied.
Yeah, so he cuts off Eddie Marsan's hand.
Because clearly the film writers couldn't decide on what we just talked about.
No, I don't think that conversation ever took place.
No.
Yeah, so he does that. He cuts off Eddie Marsan's hand and then nonchalantly just like passes the hand over to a police officer. Says, "Hey, by the way, don't let that go because if you do, everyone will die."
Yeah, he barely even says it.
Yeah, it's like an afterthought.
It really stressed me out. Just like, hey, that police officer could, like, you put it in his hand and then like slightly tell him afterwards. Like, no, tell him before and then say like, okay, are you ready? Have you got this?
Yeah,
like
because if you don't, a lot of people dead.
Yeah, like, come on.
Yeah. Anyway. He does that, so he's saved the day once again. Him and Jason Bateman and Charlize Theron go for a meal to kind of celebrate, I guess. Because the public, the public are starting to warm to him again. They're starting to like him again. So to celebrate, they all go for a meal.
Yeah.
Charlize still doesn't trust him. She's still giving him the evil eye.
By the way, at this point, he has learnt to land and take off without destroying the pavement, and is also wearing a tight leather suit.
Oh yes, he gets introduced to a suit. Well,
yeah. I
was going to bring this in for drinking games, but what is the deal with Will Smith and homophobia in his films? What is going on? I'm starting to get really annoyed at this. Like, this is 3 for 4 now. Yeah. After 4 Will Smith films we've watched, 3 of them are egregiously homophobic. Like, what is going on?
What's the exception?
I feel like I Am Legend didn't really go there.
I Am Legend, yeah.
Like, Wild Wild West, loads of gay panic. Hitch has that stupid scene where him and Kevin James are going to kiss but not, and it's like, ew. And in this one, he's just like, he's looking at all the superhero costumes, he's like, homo, homo. And Jason Bateman's just like, yeah, I agree, they do look like homos. Like, what is this?
It's straight people comedy, John.
It is basic straight comedy.
We like laughing at you.
You do, yeah, clearly.
Colours are funny.
Sure. I think you've hit on the basic thought process behind the writing of this film right now. Do you know Vince Gilligan wrote this, of Breaking Bad?
Did he?
Yeah. Wow. Well, it was written by somebody else, and then apparently the original script was like a lot darker. It was more like Brightburn-y kind of stuff with an actual evil superhero.
Yeah.
And then people were like, it got stuck in development hell for like 20 years, and then eventually it was like, well, maybe let's just make it a Will Smith vehicle, and then Vince Gilligan came in and rewrote it.
Wow, Vince Gilligan, oh my god.
Clearly a paycheck role, like, my god.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, how about this? I've been thinking about something. This kind of goes to how you present yourself. Come on, really? It's the middle of the day. What springs to mind when you see this?
Homo.
What about that?
Homo in red. Norwegian homo.
I'll give you that.
Anyway, so him and Bateman and Charlize, they go for a meal and they kind of talk about Hancock's past, and he explains that he's not only is he a superhero, he's also immortal. He doesn't age, but 80 years ago he was found with amnesia and a head wound or something.
Yeah.
And he has no idea who he was before or what happened or whether that was the start of all this, but he just knows that there was nobody around to look after him. So he feels like, and this is maybe the root of why he's kind of a bit of a waster, because he feels like he must have been a terrible person because nobody at that point in his life loved him enough or cared about him to take care of him. So he tells this kind of sad story. Charlize cries a bit, and then they go back to their house. Jason Bateman's really drunk and has to be put to bed.
Yeah.
And then Charlize and Hancock have a little bit of a moment in the kitchen, and then they have a bit of a kiss, and then immediately she flings him through the wall.
Yeah.
Her own wall. She destroys her own house entirely. Like,
So weird, just like, take it outside and do it.
yeah.
Why destroy your own house?
We needed the shot, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah, I guess, but like, it's going to cost thousands.
Oh yeah, the collateral damage is ridiculous in
Yeah.
this film. It's so much, but
Yeah.
so she flings him through the wall, thereby giving away that she too, shock horror twist, is a superhero,
Yeah.
a god. The film never
Superpowered.
establishes she's got the power. Yeah.
Yeah.
It never quite establishes what they are.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
The aliens of some kind.
They mentioned, like, there's a moment when she says they made us in pairs. Because there's a plot,
right,
there's
okay,
a plot twist later on where like them being together is weakening them.
Yeah.
But it's like, who's they?
Yeah.
They never say. It's just like this film just doesn't care.
Maybe we'll come to that later.
I'm sure we will. Yeah. Okay. So she reveals that she is also a superhero, and it turns out that she's actually his wife, and they've been married for hundreds, if not thousands, of years.
Yeah.
But they always end up fighting, and at a certain point she left him with amnesia, moved on with her life, married Jason Bateman.
What a step down.
What? Yeah, that's it. You've got.
I mean, no shade on
Superhero
Jason Bateman or
Will
anything,
Smith.
but like, damn.
Yes, Will Smith, who is also a superhero, versus Jason Bateman, who is a not very good PR exec. Like,
Yeah.
And at this point, I also found myself wondering, okay, so we've established that Will Smith, Hancock, when he comes, it's explosive. Like it can like tear through like body. What happens when she orgasms?
Well, she's not necessarily shooting anything out of her body when she orgasms.
No, I mean, I don't have the greatest understanding of how this works with women, but I understood that much. Yeah,
Cool. I don't know.
like presumably her and Jason. It does establish that the kid that Jason Bateman has is not her kid. He had a wife before.
Yeah.
But surely they have a sex life, right?
They imagine they must. Maybe she can just control it a bit better. I don't know. I don't know.
I would have liked them to address this, like just even for a bit of comedy, like
Like, well, what would you expect? Like Jason Bateman is just in a wheelchair and that's never mentioned.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. I just kind of imagine like if Will Smith's the power of Will Smith's spunk is like can rip through walls.
Yeah.
So and presumably she's strong enough to take that. So when they did have sex, it must have been pretty intense.
Sure. Yeah.
To go from that to like maybe 3 minutes with Jason Bateman, an apologetic bit of like I'm just imagining, I can't imagine it's the most thrilling ride of your life,
Sure.
No shades of Jason Bateman, but
No, I mean that's heavy shades.
that is heavy shade.
No, I don't know.
I mean, at best, it's still a step down.
I don't know.
If he's way better than you'd think Jason Bateman would be, it's still a big step down from superhero Will Smith.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know, but like further to that, like what happens when she goes to the toilet?
Yeah, true. What happens when they poop or piss or whatever? Like,
Yeah. What's the deal there? Also, to get away from less vulgar topics, Will Smith can shave his beard just by scratching his face.
Yes.
What sense does that make? Is his hair not super strong as well as the rest of him?
Well, maybe it's like equally strong with his nails, so it can like...
Yeah, but if it's equally strong, then it would be the same as like me trying to scratch the hair off my face.
That's a good point.
Because my nails are equally strong for the average human as beard hair is.
True.
So Will Smith just has human beard hair but superpowered fingernails.
True. He never takes off his hat.
Does he not?
No, his little woolen Hancock hat. Or maybe he does at the end when he's in his green outfit, but generally he doesn't take it off. So I don't know, maybe his hair is super strong. Who knows?
Maybe.
I don't know.
But his beard hair isn't, apparently.
Apparently not, no. Yeah. Anyway, so they have a whole fight, and she explains all of this, all the backstory. And at a certain point, Jason Bateman also finds out that his wife is married to Hancock. Doesn't have much reaction, to be honest. He kind of disappears. He's like in the film, but he just doesn't do anything in the film after this point.
I feel like he's such a passive character that this sort of thing's probably happened to him many times before.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? I'm married to Charlize Theron. I'm already, I want to win it here, so I'm just going to, let it pass.
Yeah, it's either that or just like, damn, that's the fourth time it's happened to me.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think he definitely is aware that he's like punching above his weight, marriage-wise. So they have this whole fight. There's that ridiculously cartoonish scene where Will Smith's like hitting Charlize Theron with frying pans and stuff, just because trying to prove that she's not a human, whatever. Anyway, so they have this whole fight, and then Hancock goes off on his own for a bit. He ends up in another like 7-Eleven place trying to buy some booze. He gets caught up in a robbery, and gets shot. Basically, he gets shot in the chest or in the abdomen, stomach, whatever. And normally they'll bounce right off because he's a superhero, but he finds that this bullet goes in and it hurts him. And so he's actually seriously injured. He has to go to hospital. And that's when Charlize Theron explains that their...
So convoluted.
Power... I know, this whole stuff was just not explained at all.
This is the point where there's suddenly no more fun left in the film.
No, the film's like
not at all
forgotten to have any kind of fun. It's just got into like the weeds.
Yeah.
So... They, whoever they might be, we never find out, designed these superheroes, gods, whatever, in pairs. And when they're together, their powers are neutralized and they become weak.
Yeah.
The closer they are to each other, they become weaker. And the further apart they are, they become stronger. So that's why Charlize Theron, as well as the fact that Hancock was apparently a bit of a fuck-up, that's the other reason she had to break up with him and make him forget about her, because all the other ones who are like them had paired off and been killed.
Yeah.
Because being together makes them powerless. So, because they've reconnected, now his powers have weakened. Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Because at the moment when he's shot, he's not anywhere near her. She's at home.
No. I guess
but then later...
He's been near her recently or something?
Maybe, yeah, but then later he just seems to heal her by just like taking a few steps away. Right?
That's true, yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
No, I mean, again. So he's in hospital, like... recovering. She comes to visit him with Jason Bateman and the kid. Meanwhile, Eddie Marsan from the bank stick up, who's like, I guess the main villain in this movie, but he's in like all of 10 minutes of screen time.
It's
like
weird.
He's fourth billed after Will Smith, Charlize Theron, Jason Bateman, and he's like, his character gets no time.
No.
It's not even a character really.
No.
But somehow he breaks out of prison because he's so embittered about losing his hand with the guys whose head he stuck up the other one's arse. Like there's a scene where he like helps them to come to terms with the fact that one had his head up the other one's arse, and they all hold hands, and it's strange.
Yeah, it's really strange.
Really strange, weird scene. But yeah, he recruits them, and he's like, "You've got to take your power back from Hancock," and they decide they're just going to break out of prison and get their revenge.
Yeah. How
they know that Hancock's going to be in a vulnerable state is never explained.
I don't think this film needs to.
No. So, but ultimately they time it right. They go. Also, how they know he's in the hospital, but apparently they just do. So they turn up at the hospital. There's another shootout. Charlize Theron gets shot multiple times. She's basically dying. Will Smith is then also attacked by Eddie Marsan. They have a whole fight. He's also shot multiple times again, so he's also about to die.
Yeah.
They're both about to die. Then Jason Bateman like kind of manages to distract Eddie Marsan. Will Smith chops off his other hand for what I guess was supposed to be a comedy scene.
It was, yes.
Oh dear, wasn't good.
No.
Manages to distract him. Will Smith takes him out, and then Will Smith uses the last of his strength as he's him and Charlize Theron are both kind of bleeding out, to walk away and then jump away and then run away. And as he gets further away, both him and Charlize Theron get stronger again.
Yeah.
And they both manage to heal and survive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the film ends with Hancock embracing his superhero nature, I guess. He's wearing the suit, so I guess he's not no homo anymore. Voluntarily wearing his homo suit, yeah. And then we see that he's like, you know, your classic superhero loner, like, you know, posing on top of skyscrapers. Charlize Theron and Jason Bateman are walking along the pier, whatever. And then Hancock calls them and says, "Look into the sky." And this is the moment when I went from being mildly annoyed by this movie to being actively angry and just like going, fuck. I actually said like to nobody, like, fuck off. Like, so Will Smith calls Jason Bateman and goes, "Look into the sky." Jason Bateman looks into the sky. Will Smith has terraformed the moon.
He's not terraformed it, he's graffitied it.
Or graffitied it, whatever, to make it, to put that stupid heart.
That Jason Bateman logo.
The Jason Bateman logo. He's painted the heart on the moon.
Yeah.
What is that supposed to achieve?
I don't know.
A company's then going to be like, well, it's on the moon now.
So it becomes a recognisable brand?
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to do with that.
No.
But like that is really something.
It was terrible. And that's the end of the film.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. He's done a good deed. He's learned his lesson. He's now become like a proper superhero.
Like, you know how in iconography, basically, icons can mean different things as time goes by.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, for example, say, the swastika.
Yes.
Was not always a Nazi symbol. It has been around for way longer than that.
Okay, look, you don't need to keep explaining why you've got that tattoo. You know, I told you it was a mistake at the time. You didn't listen to me. You made your bed. Just lie in it.
But, like, what if that symbol of the heart starts meaning something else?
Yeah, it probably will now.
Yeah, years gone by, especially in this world. I mean, we're like getting dangerously close into our sequel territory right here. But yeah, years gone by, the heart symbol means something else. Because, by the way, it doesn't look like a biological heart, so it could just move on.
No, it's just a crappy little logo. Yeah.
Like, imagine a world where like there's a very, very visible, essentially a swastika just on the moon. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
And like, okay, well, how do we get rid of that? That's going to be, you know, obviously a multi-billion-dollar mission just to get to the moon, let alone clear up a space the size of like Africa times 2 or something.
I think they'd probably just make their peace with it, to be honest. Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, like, that is mad.
Yeah, no, that's not. I don't see how that's helping him in any way, shape, or form. I don't know how that's going to make Jason Bateman's terrible, non-existent business model suddenly more appealing.
If the Nike tick was on the moon, would you buy more Nike shoes?
No! I'd buy less. I'd boycott it because I was like, wow, this company's gone too far.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm fine with like conglomerate. Well, not fine with it, but like I'm okay with like the fact that there are big companies. But when they start graffitiing the moon, I'm going to be like, you know what? Maybe now it's the time to stop giving these people my money. Yeah. Something's gone too far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
So that was Hancock.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
Made a lot of money.
Did it?
It made like 600 million worldwide. Like huge, huge success. Although no sequel, obviously.
Yeah.
I
guess it was just right at that time where like people are interested enough in superhero movies that they'll watch just about anything with a decent name to it.
Yeah, because again, this is before Marvel like flooded the whole market, and also this is Will Smith still at his peak at this point. This is like, I think this is about the time he starts making bad choices.
I'd say this is the tail end of his second peak, his second lower peak.
Yeah, this is like this is around the same time as I Am Legend and Hitch. So like movies that are very commercial and
I'd say that he has had his peak in the 90s and early thousands, but this is the end of his second peak.
Yeah, after this you've got stuff like After Earth and £7 and films that don't do as well and also the critics hate. So,
I mean, After Earth is like that is the bottom of his lowest trough.
Oh yeah, that's his absolute like lowest moment.
Yeah,
sure, yeah.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. Have you seen it?
No.
It's really... He's barely in it.
Well, that's the thing I was thinking about doing it for this season, but then I was like, I don't think he's actually in it very much.
No, he's not at all.
It's like... Wasn't it like he was trying to trick people into watching his son's film, basically?
Yeah. Yeah, very much. Like, his son is in it as much as you'd expect Will Smith. To put it in comparison... I mean, they're not at all similar characters, but like Will Smith in After Earth is a bit more like, say, Brent Spiner in Independence Day.
Oh, wow, okay.
He's in it,
Yeah.
He's definitely there. It's definitely him. But
But
like,
it's not his film. You wouldn't say, "Oh, that was a great Brent Spiner film."
no.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's kind of what I expected. But, yeah.
don't go watch him now anytime soon.
No, I'm in no rush to at all.
Should we move on to drinking games?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so first of all, drink when he drinks.
Drink when he drinks. Sure, yeah. His character is your classic alcoholic who's drinking bottles of whiskey, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, he was drinking a lot. But, yeah, he's an alcoholic in a film. That's how they drink.
That is, yeah. Okay. Drink for... I mentioned this earlier, but drink for strange camera angles. Did you really not notice this? I found the camera work in this film to be insufferably annoying. Like, it felt like every other shot, it must have been a choice, was like shot from behind someone, where you would only see half of the frame. So you would see like...
Were you just watching just half the movie?
No.
Your eyes okay?
No, my eyes are fine, honestly. So you'd be watching the film, and it'd be like, let's say it's a conversation between Will Smith and Charlize Theron, for example. You would see it with like, the camera would be on Will Smith, and half the screen would just be like the back of Charlize Theron's head.
Right, okay,
And it's
yeah.
really distracting when you notice what's happening, and it's constantly happening. I thought it was like Peter Berg's directorial thing, but really pissed me off.
Yeah.
Really annoyed me.
Yeah.
Just like, get out of the frame!
Well, this film really got something out of
It
it, didn't
really
it?
annoyed. This one really... It's been a long time since the film's pissed me off as much as this one did, but the camera work played a big part in
I'm
that.
glad it wasn't a me choice.
No, it's fine, yeah.
Drink whenever he breaks something.
Yeah, well, I drink for collateral damage, which is essentially... So, yeah, like, he cannot take a landing without shattering an entire roadway, like, an entire pavement, just like,
Yeah.
Many people are going to die.
Yeah. That stuff takes ages to replace. And just simple things, like, on the highway, he drove through a road sign. Like, that road is going to be closed for... you know,
the infrastructure is...
like at least a week just for that sign. Not the fact that he probably knocked over an entire bridge at some point as well.
That train that went down, that's going to take a while to recover.
Yeah.
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 No wonder everyone hates him. He's a fucking liability. Yeah. Okay. Drink whenever anybody calls him an asshole.
Yeah, that was my next one too. Drunk for the word asshole.
Yeah. It feels like that's the only insult there is in this world.
It's so odd, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's just it's the most PG level swear word they could do.
Oh yeah, this film was really riding the line.
Yeah.
Clearly it wanted to be, because this is a film almost exclusively aimed at teenage boys. So clearly they wanted it to be a PG-13 or whatever they call it in America. But yeah, you could tell that there was like a darker movie, like desperately trying to get out. You know, with all the stuff about shoving a guy's head up his arse and I don't know, like the dark backstory, his exploding spunk. Like there were bits here and there. You were like, okay, this could be a more of a Deadpool-y kind of film if they would commit to it. But clearly, they just wanted it to make all of the money, which I think is why it's so uneven.
Yeah, sure. Drink for that goddamn heart symbol.
Yeah, that terrible logo. Yeah. Every time Jason Bateman's trying to sell it, it's just like, no, in this case, the businessmen are right. The fat cats are right. This is a terrible business model. It's not going to work.
It's a waste of money.
Yeah, it is a waste of money.
It's a bad logo as well.
Yeah, it's just a fucking heart.
It's not iconic.
No, exactly. Yeah, that whole plot strand felt really lazily underdeveloped. It's like, we're not even going to try with this. Right?
Yeah. You can't make a logo that simple without really backing it up.
No.
Like with history.
The bits when he's like got the... he's doing his little PowerPoint presentation and he's like, but look, I've photoshopped it onto the Eiffel Tower and on Mount Rushmore. It's like, what the fuck is this? You're not going to get planning permission to do that. Like, well, you just show people... I could do that. I could like go into Microsoft Paint and just shove it on the top of a stock image of the Eiffel Tower. How does that tell people to invest in me?
Yeah. Isn't that your job anyway, though?
Pretty much is, yeah. All day long, just photoshopping crappy hearts onto landmarks. That's my career. That and this.
Drink whenever Charlize Theron's character sucks the energy out of a scene.
Yeah, no, you are right. She's...
And again, it's nothing on her as an
No, because she's
like,
a great action star. Like we've seen in...
Mad Max,
or what's that other one she did? We saw it in the cinema. She's like a...
Bombshell?
No, where she's like a superhero? Or maybe a secret agent? The one where James McAvoy goes, I fucking love Berlin.
Oh, Atomic Blonde.
Atomic Blonde. So, you know, Charlize Theron is a great action star. But, yeah, in this film, she's just, bit
that was a weird and, like, Other than that line, it's a very forgettable film.
It is a forgettable film. Well, my favourite scene of that film is when she has the full fight with that guy that's basically the Family Guy joke with the chicken and Peter.
Yeah.
It just goes on forever.
Yeah.
And doesn't she have a whole lesbian subplot with the girl from the Mummy films as well at some point? Or
Does she?
there's a lot going on in that film. Yeah.
I should watch that again.
Yeah, all right, calm down. Drink for uncomfortable racial moments.
It's a bit of a theme in this season.
It is. It's weird. Yeah, it is interesting. Do you think that this film cares that Will Smith is black?
I wouldn't say it cares.
What I mean is that I think we've really run the gamut in this season where Wild Wild West really made it too much of a thing to a point where it was really uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And then I feel like Hitch, it wasn't really a factor, which is probably good.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a factor in I Am Legend either.
No.
Anyway, the point I'm making is there's lots of weird stuff in this film that, even if the film doesn't really talk about race at all, plays weird because it is a black superhero. Mm-hmm. For example, there's just a scene at the beginning when Jason Bateman's like, you know what? People would probably like you more if you just went to prison for a while. I think that would make people a lot more comfortable if you just kind of just went to jail and just stayed in jail for a while.
I think that you can only really see how that is a problem in this film if you're overanalyzing this film.
I think because
this film is not smart enough to be racist.
No, you're right. This film isn't thinking on that level.
It's really not.
Yeah. I think the only way that this film...
I think the fact that Will Smith is black didn't cross any writer's mind.
No, which is great.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like the only part where it does show up, maybe in a deliberate way, is the soundtrack. Some of those rap cues were just a little bit too, literally when at the beginning when it's "Move, bitch, get out of the way," it's like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
And you would not be playing this if this was Nick Cage.
No.
But then the other bit that made me uncomfortable was the bit where there's lots of scenes of him as the superhero stopping hold up. Is it the end of the film maybe, where there's some kind of standoff between some other black criminals and the police, and Will Smith's 100% on the side of the police, and they're all pointing guns, and the black criminals are just make them put their guns down, and Will Smith's nope. And I was like, oh, this scene has not aged well. It was really uncomfortable.
Oh dear.
There's just a lot of that. I don't know. You're right. This film is not smart enough, and it doesn't care enough to actually make any kind of point about race relations or whatever. But
yeah.
I think there was definitely some bits that played weirdly having Will Smith as this kind of vigilante character. So just drink every time. That makes you a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. I'm done with that.
You done? No more? Okay. Last one is drink for plot holes.
Sure, yeah.
Which is just drink when the film introduces a concept and then doesn't really care to explain what's going on there. We talked about them, what are Will Smith and Charlize Theron? Are they gods? Are they superheroes? Are they aliens? What's going on?
It's not quite a plot hole, but...
Or unexplained plot,
Yeah.
plot developments. Why do the villains... How do they get out of prison? How do they know that he's going to be in hospital? How do they know he's going to be vulnerable at that moment? It's very slapdash. The writing is very, very slapdash.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, just drink for that, I guess.
Yeah, sure, that's fair. Anything else?
No, I think we're all done.
Okay, well, before we get to sequels, just want to let all your listeners know that if you've enjoyed this episode or any others, then you can support me and John for whatever you feel like paying, really, by going to patreon.com/beyondtheboxset. I say whatever you feel like because we do a pay-as-you-feel system there. We don't follow the tiered system. So, if you feel like paying $2, then you get the exact same amount as if you feel a bit more generous and feel like paying $5. Sound fair? If you do, you get a few bonus features such as you get extended versions of the main episode, so a little bit more bang for your buck. You get a bonus show where we review... I'd say we like to review recent cinema releases, but...
it's been a challenge at the moment. We're getting to get back to it, yeah.
Yeah, well, we're very much looking forward to watching Tenet.
Yes.
In the coming weeks.
And if you're a listener who's in America, first of all, God bless you. But we are actually getting cinema releases back, touch wood, in the next couple of weeks. So we'll be able to see films that you might not see until next year. Yeah. So we can review them for you. I mean, we'll probably spoil them, but...
And also, if you become Patreon, you get a 30-second advert slot on the main show. You get to also, once a month, pick an episode for us for the main show as well. Just one Patreon a month. We don't give everybody a choice.
No.
But hey, this month might be a lucky month.
We'll cycle through you in a fair way. You'll all get your chance, yeah.
And other than that, you get the Facebook group. And that's pretty much it, I'd say. So all that is available at patreon.com/beyondtheboxset.
Indeed it is.
So what does the receptionist do when the fire alarm goes off?
I don't know. Call the fire brigade?
I seriously hope that was a joke. That's what the fire alarm is for.
Well, she's the one who asked what to do. I'm just guessing.
Well, I think you'd have to be the one that makes sure everyone knows where the fire exits are and checks that everyone is out of the building. Like, we have the list of guests. It's not that hard.
Just wait till it actually happens and we'll see if you find it's not that hard. What are you going to do if everyone goes off running in different directions before you check them off your list?
Or someone sleeps through it.
I highly doubt you can sleep through a fire alarm.
I have.
Sure.
So what? We're just going to say they'll check off all the guests as they exit the building to make sure they're all out.
Welcome to The Quids In is a new fictional podcast coming to all podcasting platforms weekly from September 10th, 2020. Learn more about the show by visiting our website at islandlifeproductions.com and clicking on Support Us.
Okay, let's do some sequels.
Okay, so my first idea is, again, it's based on the incredibly stupid idea that Will Smith has, which is to paint the moon or to terraform the moon. Which, so the original film ends with him doing that. He flies off to the moon and he either paints or terraforms it to make it look like this fucking stupid giant heart logo. Which, of course, is Jason Bateman's brand. It's his company brand. So Will Smith has done this out of the goodness of his own heart with all good intentions. But immediately, Jason Bateman becomes like the world's most hated man because he's vandalized the moon.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, what the fuck have you done to the moon?
Yeah.
It looks horrendous.
Yeah.
And then not only that... But because the moon is
I don't like pink. It's homo.
It's homo, yeah.
Yeah.
But not only is he's turned the moon into a big homo icon, also, also like, you know, that's the moon is vital to the world's, like, you know, lunar waves and like
lunar tides,
the lunar tides. So in doing this, Will Smith has inadvertently caused giant ecological shifts. So there's all these huge natural disasters, like there's tidal waves hitting coastal cities and there's floods and there's droughts and like everything's just gone to shit basically.
Yeah.
And not Hancock, but Jason Bateman's character Ray is taking all of the flack for it.
Oh god.
Because it's his company, it's his logo has now become synonymous with like apocalypse events.
Yeah.
So Will Smith has done him no favours at all. He's done the opposite of a favour. Basically, this is not good PR at all.
I've had a similar idea, which we could probably merge in right now, by the way.
Sure.
Where putting that logo up on the moon, again, everybody hates it, obviously.
Yeah.
But because it's the logo of a charity, everybody just associates that with charity in general.
Okay.
And so the word charity just becomes like a really bad word. And
charities
just stop existing. And
wow,
the world
okay.
goes to shit in that way as well.
Okay, yeah, so it's just become like a dirty word, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we could do that. So I guess what I'm thinking is that suddenly Jason Bateman is public enemy number one. So Charlize Theron is like, you need to Hancock, like, you need to fix this.
Yeah.
You've ruined my husband's career. So between the two of them, they have to work together somehow to try and fix what's going on. And that's going to cause only more chaos.
Yeah.
So maybe like Charlize Theron flies off to the moon to try and like fully repair the moon, which is kind of a hard task. You know, it's easier to break something than it is to fix it. Meanwhile, Will Smith is on Earth because they need to stay apart, don't they? Because of the whole situation. Meanwhile, on Earth, Will Smith is trying to like rescue people from all the massive, like financial and economic, ecological disasters.
How's Will Smith gonna rescue people from like debt?
So I didn't mean financial or economic.
I don't think if this film taught me anything, I don't think it's that Will Smith's character is good with money.
No, you're right. Sorry, I meant ecological, not economic. Yeah, all is economic.
Will Smith, rescue me from my alcoholism. I'm not your guy.
No. Give me better interest rates. Rescue us from interest rates. But basically, what I'm thinking is that they need to work together to kind of fix the mess that he's created and kind of save Jason Bateman's reputation.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on where we go from there?
Okay. Save Jason. So basically, they need another marketing guy.
Yeah, probably.
I think.
Well, they need to save the world and then also save Jason Bateman's business somehow.
Okay. Well, I think that Charlize Theron is saving the world
Yes.
because she's going to put the moon back.
Okay, maybe that's how they split it up. She saves the world.
Yeah.
She's like, Hancock, you stay behind, and you rescue my husband's business reputation or something.
Yeah, pretty much. Maybe Will Smith says to him just like, I think you should go to jail.
Yes! Turn it around, yeah.
Yeah, and...
You should pay for your crimes.
Yeah, pay for your crimes, and you should go to jail, and, people start liking you if you own up to your crimes.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't want to.
And he does terribly in jail.
Of course he does, yeah.
He's not Hancock.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the guy who has his head shoved up a guy's arse, not the one who gets to do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe everything maybe the comedy of this film is everything Will Smith is trying. Now that Hancock's like a nice guy, he's come around. He's not a waster anymore. Maybe everything he does to try and like make Jason Bateman's life better and to like help him backfires horribly. Mm-hmm. So first of all, he tries to promote his brand, and then that causes all this shit. Then he's like, well, maybe you should just go do what I did and go to prison for a while. Mm-hmm. And then Jason Bateman just gets horribly beaten in prison. Like he's just not prison material at all.
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. But I'd say that he does eventually come out of prison, but basically just like with, a very cartoon film, like just a black eye, bump on his head sort of
thing.
Sure, yeah. Like nothing too serious, nothing.
No, we don't want to get depressing.
No, let's keep it PG.
Yeah.
But by the time he comes out, basically everybody has forgotten about him. Nobody knows what his name was anymore. Like,
so he literally spent like 20 years in prison.
No, I'm just saying, like the world moves on.
Sure. Okay. Sure.
And people do still know his name, and like his Wikipedia page isn't great, but
man who destroyed the moon.
Yeah, but the moon has been fixed. He can move.
Okay. So Charlize Theron successfully fixed the moon.
Yeah, she just turned it around.
Okay, sure, that works.
Yeah, like the other side of the moon. Yeah, and so like people have basically forgotten about him now, and so like right, okay, take two. What are we gonna do? I'm gonna try and like some amazing big marketing campaign. How are we gonna do this? So he's like, okay, well. Probably shouldn't go printing logos and everything else.
Yeah, clearly that's not a winning strategy. Yeah.
No. What do you do?
Oh, so he needs a new marketing to get back into like marketing. Yeah. Okay.
He needs anything. He needs to be big. He needs someone to kick him off. Just be like, hey, the guy who brought you that doodle on the moon.
Well, maybe he's now like, okay, look, Hancock, you owe me so many favors. You destroyed my original business.
Yeah.
You convinced me to go to jail for like some period of time.
Mm-hmm.
So now you need to be like our company mascot.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like Hancock now he has to learn how to be like not only well behaved but also like a sellout basically. He has to really like, have paint on a smile and appear in cheesy adverts as like a cheesy superhero.
Yeah.
And he just hates it, but he has to do it.
Yeah.
Whereas Charlize Theron stays in the background and she's still not like outed herself to the world as a superhero, so she can just lean back and laugh at him basically.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So is it like that the world thinks that Will Smith fixed the moon?
Yeah. He takes all. It starts off as she wants to keep her low profile. She doesn't want people to know she's a superhero. Mm-hmm. But then that means that Hancock, Will Smith, gets all the credit, and she starts to feel incredibly like undervalued.
Right. Okay. So then, do you think that she goes and starts graffitiing other places?
Yeah, she starts acting out. Yeah.
Yeah. So like she'll just go around all the monuments of the world and just paint that heart on it.
Yeah. Yeah, she goes a bit rogue, and they need to track her down and talk her out of it. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, everyone got something there, definitely.
Yeah,
there's some plot strands.
Yeah, I could see something happening with that.
Cool. So that was Hancock Saves Humanity.
Great.
Yeah, I was all about the alliteration.
Mm-hmm.
HHH.
Okay, so the idea I've come up with here is that Jason Bateman is also suffering from memory loss.
Okay, so he's also a secret superhero?
Possibly, yes.
Okay.
Could go that way. But basically I wanted to write something about the child.
The little kid, their son.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
I wanted the child to basically be a superhero as well.
Yeah, because it's not Charlize Theron's biological child, is it?
Apparently not, no.
No.
But, like, basically, what if they had a child?
Yeah, okay. So maybe they have a child later on. Or maybe they have a child that they didn't mention in the original film who's now, like, in college or something.
Sure, yeah.
They just never mentioned that, yeah.
Well, I was going to say that... Well, either way... The film I'm going to write now, the child is just hitting puberty age.
Right.
And I'm saying that that's the time where the superpowers start coming in.
Oh dear, and how?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So there's a bit of coming of age plotline going on here.
Sure.
Where do we go from here?
Okay, so does it have to be the kid of Jason Bateman and Charlize Theron?
Doesn't have to, but just like, yeah, a kid with superpowers.
Well, I was thinking maybe when she meets Jason Bateman, she's pregnant with Will Smith's baby, but she doesn't say anything.
That's kind of what I was thinking. That's why I was saying that he had some sort of memory loss.
Yeah. Well, or maybe like
they have a super long pregnancy.
They have super long pregnancies, and or maybe they can like decide when to give. They can just like control it, so they can just decide when they're ready to give birth. Yeah. So she's been like holding it in for like 80 years.
So Will Smith can't control his orgasms like blowing a hole through a woman on a roof.
Yeah.
But she can hold a baby in.
Yeah.
You know, like she really needs the toilet, she's just holding it in.
Yeah, basically.
Like for 80 years.
Look, she says herself she's stronger than he is, you know.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
She was waiting for the right time, and meeting Jason Bateman is the right time.
Okay. Sure.
So yeah, so she gives birth and pretends it's Jason Bateman's baby.
Because then she knows that it'll get a decent...
Yeah, decent.
A decent human upbringing.
Yeah, but it's like maybe it's kind of like
because you know he's a good businessman and stuff.
Yeah, and he's probably a decent enough dad. Sure, yeah, if a bit wet.
I'm sure he's a good dad, but like, is he gonna bring the cash in though?
Probably not. No, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Clearly, these superheroes don't need an income. We've established that they somehow have their own.
To be fair, their house was very nice, and I didn't get the impression Jason Bateman was making lots of cash.
Not in that job.
No.
Well, okay, maybe it's like the baby. It's like the Incredibles. You know, the little baby in the Incredibles is like a little baby superhero.
Yeah.
So maybe that's it. It's like she's trying to raise this child and keep it from a secret from Jason Bateman that their child is in fact that has superpowers. But it's hard because babies are impossible to monitor. Like they're always, you know, this baby has like uncontrollable powers. So like every time it burps or it poos or anything, it's just like, you know, causing huge amounts of destruction. Every time there's a tantrum, the entire house gets destroyed, you know, like.
Oh god.
So maybe it's just a comedy of Charlize Theron trying to hide, like be a good mom and hide all of that, or explain it away from Jason Bateman, who just thinks it's just a normal kid. Right?
Yeah. There'd be a lot of running around and like, oh, we're just gonna take the kid out, like, you know, for a weekend away.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's just trying to hide it. And then maybe when as the kid enters adolescence, starts acting out in different ways. Maybe it starts like hanging out with a bad crowd of like supervillains.
Yeah.
And that's why she sends off to like a faraway, or they send.
Oh right,
off.
so what now? There's like multiple of these aliens or whatever they are.
Well, it could be that the kid's just hanging out with a bad crowd of kids,
and she's concerned that he's going to grow up to be like a Brightburn style.
Maybe, yeah, or maybe like because he's acting out. The kid is the only one with superpowers. The other kids are just like bad kids, like you know, like whatever. But he's becoming like a super villain because you know he's the one with all the power. So yeah, the kid's just becoming a little megalomaniac, and so she convinces Jason Bateman that he needs to send off to private school to like you know become a better responsible member of society, whatever. Set it straight, and in the interim, she connects with Will Smith again, and all the events of the first film go down. And maybe the sequel is when the kid comes back from college and is like, "Mom, you slept with another guy," and that just causes all kinds of more issues.
Yeah, that could totally work.
Yeah.
Would you like to try and give him a bit of a get Will Smith back and have the two of them like fight off or something?
Yeah, no, I think it builds to this kid fighting with Will Smith and then reconnect and realizing that it's a real
kid's gone the wrong way and Will Smith needs to set him right.
Yeah, but also it's his son or daughter who he never knew existed before.
Yeah.
So it's an extra layer of responsibility. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Are we casting a Will Smith child or are we casting...
just put Jaden in. You know Will Smith's not averse to it.
Great, yeah. I'm sure Charlize Theron could push out Jaden.
Sure, yeah. What else would you say?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, no, that totally works.
Cool.
Hancock Jr.
Hancock Jr. Very good, yeah. My second one is... This one's based on the fact that they kind of mention that before they broke up 80 years before the events of the film, Will Smith and Charlize Theron have kind of been on Earth forever, and they've been through all the different time periods, and they've met all the different people.
They are Adam and Eve.
I didn't go that direction, but they could be. They could be, yeah, they could be the first people.
Yeah, they've got God's powers.
Okay, that could work with mine, but I was just thinking of like...
Sorry, I'm just spitballing.
Them through... No, spitballing's good. I'm just thinking of like Will Smith and Charlize Theron as like a sexy couple through the ages. Like, you know, in like ancient Greece or ancient Rome and, you know, China and just like all the different, you know, all the different cultures, they're always there as a couple, but every time, wherever they are, at a certain point, people turn on them and their powers get discovered and they end up getting like almost killed. And it's a constant like running thing that they're trying to like And maybe Charlize Theron's much better at blending in with society, whereas Will Smith's very much not, and that's why she gets frustrated with him.
Yeah.
But what I'm thinking is, so maybe they're constantly, as well as like having these situations where the two of them as a couple get discovered, maybe they have a real like on again, off again relationship. So they always break up, but they always seem to end up back together.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe one time very early on, they're in like ancient Iraq or Arabia, that kind of part of the world. And, they're trying to like live their lives, and then they end up getting discovered, and Charlize Theron gets really frustrated. And she's like, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of your shit, Hancock. I'm breaking up. It's over between us. And she dumps him. And to prevent him from following her, chasing her, not only does she dump him, she puts a curse on him and traps him in a lamp.
I didn't see that one coming.
And then Hancock just spends a period of time with the genie, a tone deaf genie.
Great, yeah. No, that totally fits.
Yeah.
Until eventually he's freed, and then
then they get back together for a while, but it doesn't work out, and then they just keep the whole film's just going to be them like breaking up and getting back together, and breaking up and getting back together, and like
okay.
They're Ross and Racheling.
Yeah.
Through history.
Yeah. But with his memories a bit all iffy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And like sometimes he's fighting aliens, sometimes he's. I was trying to think of another Will Smith role, but I can't really think of one that he's not fighting aliens.
Fighting aliens, he's
fighting vampires.
Helping single guys to get women.
Oh, there's that too. Yeah.
Whatever he's doing, yeah. Now that I think of like the Ross and Rachel thing, you could even like bring in his exploding spunk. You could be like, it's not that common. It doesn't happen to every guy, and it is a big deal. Yeah. That's all I had with that. Yeah. But yeah, that was the history of Hancock.
I like it. Yeah. Right. Let's see what the listeners have got.
Well, my last one. Sorry, I had one more.
Okay.
My last one was just because I like the title. It's Hitchcock.
Great.
And it is a combination of Hitch and Hancock.
Okay.
So through another period when Will Smith and Charlize Theron are broken up and he's lost his memory, he becomes a dating expert and he just lives the life of Hitch, which would explain why Hitch is super wealthy and has no financial troubles at all. But I'm also, my main thought on this one, and I'll keep it brief, is that I like the idea that Hancock becomes a dating expert. So it's all the events of Hitch. He's trying to like help, lonely, geeky guys to get women who are out of their league, all that kind of stuff. But in his own life, he's looking for love and he's this dating expert, but his supernatural spunk always stops him from closing the deal. It's just a deal breaker.
Oh dear.
That's all I had anyway.
Yeah. Sure. All right. Well, I'm gonna.
Yeah, let's move on to listeners' submissions.
Skim through some listeners and see what we got.
Sure.
I've got a lot of titles.
Sure. Give me your best one.
So I'm just gonna rush through those.
Go for it.
The names. We've got Legcock.
Legcock, great.
Handdick.
Oh, I was finding a theme here.
Foot vagina.
That rolls off the tongue. I can see that on the poster. Foot vagina.
Fan forecock, as in like Fantastic Four, that film that came out a couple of years ago that had a 4 in the middle of the title.
Fan forecock.
Fan forecock, yes.
Okay, I thought I heard that when you first said it as fan, as in Thanos, 4 as in 4, cock, like just the powers combined.
That is not where I saw that one going. Oh dear, that would hurt.
Maybe it's the only way to get his whatever. What did Thanos have? The
Infinity Stones.
The Infinity Stone. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe that was the only way.
Caught between Hancock and a hard place.
Okay.
Hangina.
Hangina. Very good.
Ham-cocked.
Ham-cocked. Is that
Ham-cocked.
like Babe Pig in the City, but it's a
yeah.
drunken superhero. Great.
Let's see. Hancock 2, fully cocked.
I mean, have you got any that aren't penis jokes?
Foot dick. Hancock far from home. Foot vagina. And post cock.
Okay.
I'm going to leave it there.
Did you post your request for listener submissions on Pornhub?
No, but like that. I mean, not the most mature places on the internet, but like
clearly, like one or two, but like every one of those is just a cock and balls reference, right?
I mean, there are a few that are not. So, like, I've got Mark Collingwood here said a prequel about his dad, Matt Hancock, the UK Health Secretary during COVID.
Okay, there you go.
See how that
wow,
goes?
Again, that's that's even worse than like going from Will Smith to Jason Bateman. Charlize Theron's next boyfriend is Matt Hancock. Ugh.
Drew Henry says, I would love a sequel where we found out that he knocked up a girl in the biblical times. and then he has to help his son or daughter come to terms with what they are and helping them come to be a hero.
Okay.
That actually works as like a genuine sequel if this film was good. And the other one I got from James McLean says, "A sight for sore ass."
Oh dear, I see where this is
Sick of
going.
having his henchmen's heads shoved up each other's, a new villain emerges for revenge, vowing to make a superhuman centipede. And he is swiftly defeated.
Oh dear.
End of movie.
I did think there were definite human centipede overtones in this movie. Like, I don't know what came first, but yeah, that did cross my mind as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's definitely where this was going. Okay, well, I would normally say very good, but
But no.
Something, yeah. I have some as well. First of all, just some general reviews from our Facebook page. Heath Cowart said, because this film really split opinions on our Facebook, I noticed. Our listeners, some loved it, some hated it.
Okay.
So Sam Rose said, I really enjoyed this film, to be honest. For a sequel, I would like a time travel element to see the characters living in the 1930s and 40s and how they both adapted. Not sure how that would be achieved, but it'd be a fun watch. So yeah, some Charlize Theron and Will Smith in the Prohibition 1940s. That could be pretty cool, actually. I can see that.
Yeah.
Heath Cowart said, I remember feeling a little bit underwhelmed after seeing this film in theatres. Jon Snow, as in Jose from the Contrarians, said, this movie sucks. I know there's like 8 U's, he means it. I hope one of you pitches a sequel that reveals that it is related to that Arrested Development arc where Jason Bateman dated Charlize Theron. Mr. F.
Oh, yeah, in Wee London.
In Wee London, yeah. You've not got to that yet in your rewatch, have you?
No.
That's just the point before it goes crap. That's like the last funny bit. Yeah. Yeah, we didn't do that. That would have been fun. Mr. F. Stuart Millard, this is my favourite. Hancock gets wasted and puts out the sun with his piss. So similar to destroying the moon, he gets pissed and pisses on the sun.
Oh, that is so what this film would do.
Absolutely, yeah. That could plausibly be the sequel.
Yeah.
Another one I liked, Ryan Klima said, 2 hand 2, never mind. 2 hand 2 cock. Yeah. Dennis Fanning said, Hancock versus Hitch, Dawn of Fresh Prince. It's like Gemini Man, but with a lot more Will Smiths.
Oh dear.
David Handloss said, Hancock 2, Hancocked and Loaded. Hancock falls off the wagon, goes on a 7-day bender, and wakes up to find he's married to 37 different women across the globe, and has somehow enlisted in the army. Hilarity ensues, supposedly.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Adam Capitanio said, Hancock tweets out some very questionable things when he's drunk one day and loses his blue checkmark status on Twitter. The title, Banned Cock.
Good.
And finally, Martin Gardner at MG Loves Fun said, a TV spin-off, Hancock's Half Hour.
Nice.
Which is a classic sitcom from the 80s, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So, yeah, thank you everybody for those listener submissions. We ask for your listener submissions every week, a few days before we record, by putting posts out on Facebook and Twitter, where you can post your ideas. So make sure you like and follow our pages if you don't want to miss out. To listen to more episodes of Beyond the Box Set, you can subscribe and browse our back catalogue on any podcasting platform, including iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and many others, all of which you can also leave a 5-star review if you like. It really helps us to find new listeners, so please do consider doing that. As mentioned before, we're also available on Patreon, which is exclusively for the people who would rate us more than 5 stars if they could. You can find all the relevant links in the description below or at beyondtheboxset.com. And next week, Harry, we are closing our season of Will Smith. How do you think it's gone so far?
Not well.
No, I feel like I have gone off Will Smith from this a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, he's still a great movie star.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just if you rule out anything that's good enough to get a sequel,
it's real slim pickings.
You're not left with anything that's either like Oscar-worthy / bait.
No.
Or just bad.
He has done Oscar bait films, but we decided not to do them because I think Will Smith's route to the Oscar has been like, let's make really depressing films where I die at the end, which I don't want to watch. Yeah, it's not that I don't think any less of him as an actor, particularly, apart from the fact that I think he might be homophobic. Sorry you married a lesbian, Will, allegedly.
I didn't really. No, I never thought about that. I never thought that about him before, but it's just come up too many times.
So many times. Yeah.
Like, you can kind of excuse, like, Wild Wild West, but, like...
it was, like, the 90s, but it just keeps happening.
It's happened again and again and again. Like, come on, like...
It's weird.
You're
right?
a big actor. You can put your foot down on something if you need to.
You can let this go. Yeah. But yeah, on the whole, I think what this season has taught me, and we've got one more left.
Yeah.
Is that because I did admit early on that I haven't seen a lot of Will Smith films, even though he's obviously a big star. And I think I've realised now that they're just not for me. I think he makes films that are so completely popcorn. He doesn't really make films that are experimental in any way. Not that I'm not to sound really pretentious or anything, but just like his films are so popcorny that I just don't find them.
No, it's wrong. The thing is, he does, but just they're not fun to talk about here.
No.
There are things like The Pursuit of Happiness, which I've seen once.
Yeah.
It's a very good film. £7, I've seen it once. It's an amazing film.
Okay.
I'm not going to do it here.
No.
And, everything else that he's done that is great has been so good that it's got sequels.
Yeah.
Not necessarily good sequels. Look
but
at
it's
Independence Day.
It's been
but
a franchise, yeah.
Yeah,
I just don't...
You enjoyed Independence Day, though, right?
I mean, that was pretty silly, but it was fun, yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's not... Yeah, I'm not saying, I hate Will Smith movies, but I just don't think... I think, the graph between, films I like and films Will Smith makes doesn't cross over very much.
There's a very interesting graph of Will Smith films, isn't there? We need to make this, actually.
You should make that graph.
The Nicolas Cage graph is very varied. But
do you want to make, the Matrix of Will Smith?
Yeah, I think that's going to be a very sort of, quite extremes.
Yeah, the pinpoints would be serious, boring, homophobic.
Yeah, I'm doing this.
You should make that. You should make that Matrix.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have one more.
Yeah.
So I thought we would take it to our Patreons. I put up a poll.
Yeah.
The results were inconclusive. It was a three-way tie between Bright, iRobot, and Enemy of the State.
Okay.
So we could either do 3 more Will Smith films, but I do not have the strength. So instead, I took it to Twitter.
Okay. What Twitter got to say?
Twitter had the final say, and the film that won the Twitter poll that I put up 3 hours ago was very hasty. Was iRobot. Which I feel like is a decent film.
Okay.
I might revise that opinion.
Okay.
Are you good with that? Do you want to veto it? It's your last chance.
See, now, I'm not against doing it on the podcast, so I don't want to strong veto it. But I thought of a film that I don't know if it could rescue this season.
Oh, hey, I'm open for a rescue.
But, it's not got a sequel. I don't think it's a bad film. I've seen it a few times and I know it fairly well.
Okay.
And I don't think it's a bad film.
Okay.
I don't think it's a great film. But, it's somewhere in between.
Okay, which one?
Do you want to do Focus?
I know nothing about Focus. So we could end on Focus.
Because it's very much not an action movie. That's my thing.
All I know about Focus is that I only ever saw the poster, and the poster annoyed me because it was Will Smith and Margot Robbie, and who was at that point 21 years old, and I was like, come on. I don't know if they even are love interests, but the concept annoyed me.
Yeah, either they're not, or it's not a deeply romantic thing. I don't think there's much going on there with it.
No, I mean, we could do that.
You wouldn't describe it as a romance.
No, clearly not. Okay, we could do Focus.
So am I bypassing the Patreons?
And the
other.
Well, the Patreons couldn't decide, so they've lost their power. So yeah.
Great. Okay.
And the Twitter people don't pay us, so fuck them. Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to do Focus next week?
I'm happy to do Focus. Yeah.
I'm not majorly excited about doing Focus, to be honest.
But if you prefer it to iRobot.
But I feel like this season's been a bit repetitive.
Sure. Well, yeah. If you think Focus will save the day, so what you're saying is you think it's better than iRobot?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can think of things in iRobot that would definitely annoy you. And there would just be a lot of me trying to explain how robots work or something.
No, I've seen iRobot. I've seen iRobot twice, I think. I know fairly well.
Okay. Yeah. No, let's do Focus.
Okay, let's do Focus. Okay, fine. Well, democracy is dead, people. Forget. It doesn't matter what you said. We're going to do Focus. So join us next week for Focus.
Yeah. Great.
Cool.
Lovely. Well, see you all next week, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Hope you've not found this Will Smith season such a train wreck.
I feel like we've had some good episodes out of it. Just the films haven't been very good.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know.
Yeah. Focus is not a 10 out of 10. But
you don't need to. It's fine. It's fine.
But it's above a 6.
Is it better than this?
Yeah.
Then I'm happy.
Yeah.
It's all I want.
Great. Great.
Cool.
Whew. All right. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Homo. Homo in red. Norwegian homo.
I'll give you that.